Here's our 20-page booklet. We are on the point where we're going to be placing text. So we've got our two parent pages, and we are on page 3 because that's where our text wants to start. I'm going to show you something real quick though, and please go to the slides because there's more information there versus here, and vice versa. So on page 3 is where I want to put the copy. But let's show you something really quick. There is an input and an output arrow on this text frame. So I know by setting this document up that there's the text frame prior to it is actually the start. And if I go to page 1, this is the beginning. There's no output. It's just a white little box, so it starts here. And something else you can see too. If I click here and I go to view and I go to extras and show text threads, you can actually see how the text threads from one page to the next. Okay, which is kind of cool. And sometimes you're working in a spread of some sort, and you've got text, several columns of copy going through, say, 6 different pages, but it doesn't fill the copy or the whole page. It's kind of neat how you can watch how the text, threads from one column to another, or text frame to another, I should say. But let's go ahead and do this the wrong way first. I'm going to turn the thread off because we really don't need to see that. It's pretty simple. Extras, hide text threads. Here we go. Now on page 3, because this is where I want my text to start, I'm going to go and file, place, right, here we go, and find our text assets here, booklet text, and paste it in. I'm going to click inside, and it's not just on 3. You can see over here in the pages that it went from 1 to 10. Well, why did it do that? Because this text frame is just a link from the previous ones. Now, when you've got linked frames, let's take a look at a few different things about these text frames. If I click and drag this text frame smaller, I'll bring this down a little bit, like half page. You can see a few different things. Did you see on 10 and 11? It actually went further because it's continuing automatically through the document. If I delete this text frame, I'm not deleting the copy inside of it. I'm only deleting the text frame. So this starts on forests. So if I'm on page 1 and I delete it, okay, this is telling me that if I don't have more pages for the copy to flow to, it'll actually create more pages to keep the reflow going. Hit OK again, or one time, and you can see that I've deleted the text frame on page 1. There's nothing to select. But page 2 now has forests. Well, I don't want the text frame here either. I want it to start on page 3, so I'll go ahead and click on this text frame, delete it. It's going to tell me again. It'll just add more pages to keep the flow. Before I delete it, take a look at page 11. This is going to go and flow to page 12 now. I'm going to hit OK and delete that text frame. Forest is now starting on page 3 and now flows to page 12. So this is nice. One thing I did not mention, do you see how you cannot click on the page numbers or the picture frame that was put on the B parent and the A parent? Okay, they're locked in at the moment, so you can't accidentally move them. Because if you put something on the page parent or the parent pages, you want them to be static. You want them to always be in the same place. You don't want the page numbers to ever accidentally get moved. So, if you got a multi-page document, you want to use your parent pages. All right, so now I've got my copy in here. What is next? We're going to start with style sheets. Let's go back and check this real quick though. Okay, we've gone through that slide, and we're done here too. So paragraph styles. There are a couple ways you can make paragraph style sheets. You can create formatting and then make it a style sheet, or if you know what your style sheet you want it to look like, you can create it and then activate it into the actual text itself. I'll show you in just a moment how it works out. Okay, so here's our different types of styles we're going to be needing. We've got a regular copy. We've got our 4 topics or our 4 headlines. They have subheads in there, and we've got subheads. And I'm adding a line here just to make sure you understand how this works out. This line in all caps might require a style too, but it depends on what you want to do and how you want it to appear. So we'll just kind of wait and see how it works out. There's no right or wrong. It's about readability and making it fit within the parameters. This has to be a 20-page booklet, and the covers need to be empty for different design. So if you make the type too big or too small, you'll have to modify it to fill the pages or to make sure it doesn't exceed the number of pages that you were given by the client. Let's see. So again, go through here and make sure you do read some more information. Never use hard returns when you are adding space in between things. You don't want any returns anywhere, really, a secondary return to make an extra space. So we're going to go through all of that. That should take care of the red parts. Okay, and that's placing photos. So let's go back to paragraph styles. And let's see, I think, what do I usually start? 11 on 12, I think is where I usually start, 11 on 14. Okay. So let's go to our InDesign document. I like to do my text first because it affects everything. And I can tell you, if you assign your text to the entire document first and then go back and assign all the others, the smaller, like the subheads and titles and whatnot, later, your formatting will be more smooth in the long run. So let's just kind of go through here and see what I'm talking about. Here's our paragraph styles. What I like, you can do this. Let's just do this. We'll do it 2 different ways. I'm going to make a style sheet. So I'm going to click on New or New Paragraph Style. You can do that here, or you can do it with the plus sign. And this is going to be copy, okay? And we're going to go to Basic Formats, Minion Pro. You know what? I'll just go ahead and change it. We'll go ahead and change it. And I just go to Helvetica just for simplicity, okay? Not that you have to use it. Regular 12 on, and again, I do not like to use any auto. I want to be in charge. So I'm gonna go 11 on 14. It's a nice size for text. It's around 11, 10 and a half, 12, somewhere in there. Leading is kind of nice. The more leading you have, the more spacing you have between the lines of copy, so it's kind of nice. Let's see what else we want to do. Advanced character, no, I don't want to change this at all. Indent spacing, alignment, we'll go ahead and leave it left right now, but we'll put a first line indent. I'll probably take it out, but we'll put the first line indent in here first of all. Let's go up to 1/4 of an inch, it's quite big. And that's it for right now. We changed the formatting of the font, and that's about, and a few little minor things. Hit OK. Now I've got a copy. What's that mean? If I click in a paragraph, let me do it down here, it might be easy to see. If I click in a paragraph here and hit copy, the text changes to the style sheet that I created. You wouldn't want to do that with every paragraph, with every line of copy, right? So I would do a select all and make it all copy and make sure it's all got a paragraph style, so every space in here changes or is affected by a style. Now what if I went back and be careful too, where if you have a cursor in a line of copy, in any line at all, and you go modify the style, just be careful. So when I do modify styles, I just like to click outside and have nothing selected, no text frame selected, no text selected, and not even the text tool inside a text frame. If I go to copy in here, double click it out here, okay, and then I add spacing after, okay. Let's go to indents and spacing after paragraphs, and I click on here and put some spacing in here. I can actually preview it, and you can see that the little bit of spacing occurred between the lines between the paragraphs, which is kind of nice. Again, you are in control of every minute space in here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it just a little bit so it's kind of a nice little breakup, okay? So there's one way of doing it. You can create a style sheet and then activate it inside your text itself. What I like to do, because I don't know what the forest, what do I want to do with the forest with my headlines? So I'm going to select it actually, and I'm going to go ahead and modify it. Let's go 26 points. Let's go to, since I used Helvetica last time, maybe I don't want to use Helvetica. Maybe I want something different. We'll go to Georgia, okay? Or maybe I'll go to Aiken. Here we go. That's a bit much, but that's okay. Maybe I want it all capitalized. It's a little bit too bold. I don't really like it, but this is just for, grins here. Let's center it. Okay, and then now let's make this a style sheet. New paragraph style. And this is going to be my header or headline. I don't have to go do anything here because it's picking up the information from the selected copy. But if I click on it, it's not a header style sheet. I've got to actually activate it now. So header. If I hit copy, it would do that. But if I hit header, now it's in there. Same thing with the overview. Here's my subhead. I want to make it, oh, that's not times, that's not right. This should be copy. Okay, this should be copy. Helvetica New Regular. Let's just make this, and I'll do the same way. Helvetica OTD Roman. Okay, so now it's the same font, but I don't want it to be the same font. I want to kind of make it a little bit nicer. Black, and I'm going to go to the paragraph, not style, just a paragraph, and add a space after there too. And now again, I've got to make sure it's activated. So I hit, oop, I didn't make it yet, right? I'm just formatting it. So again, make a new style sheet, or you can either, have it selected, or at least as long as the cursor's in the line of copy, you can make a new, do it down here, a new style. And this is going to now have to double click it, and this is my subhead. And it's activated. Okay. So if I did it this way, I would have to go through every little area. I'd have to select. I'd probably hit copy first. Then I'd go back and make subhead. See, I don't know what I want to do with this one yet. What else needs to be subheads? Oh, this is actually the next header. So I'll make that. We're not worried about where things are landing right now. We're just trying to work on the formatting. Now in here, I can see that there's 2 extra spaces, 2 extra returns that I do not want in here. Remember how you can find this? If you go to type, show hidden characters, I do not like these extra returns because it just messes up your whole flow. Now I'll just get rid of those. I'll get rid of all of them. Okay. Now, if this is the way you like it, let's just say this is what we love, great, it's done. Let's format the whole thing. Do you really want to go through page by page and kind of go through here and make it all copy and then go backwards and make things headers and subheads? What I prefer to do is I like to kind of make my first few paragraph styles so it's kind of set, so I know what I'm doing. And then I'll just do a select all. And let's see where that's at. It's Command A, and now I forgot where that's at. Select all. Now it's selecting everything in the entire document. Okay? And then I'll go to copy. Then I'll go through and make this a header and a subhead and a subhead. Just clicking through here. This is going to be the next headline, the next topic, subhead, and you're just going to go through here and assign all of the, I'll do one more here. Here, there's a next header. There we go. That didn't work out. Why did that not work out? That's not quite right. I've got a header plus. Now when something like that happens, I'm going to do it, just select it all so you can see a little bit better. And it's got a plus sign here. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to say, get rid of whatever's extra here. There we go. Now I don't have that plus sign. Let me undo that again. I know this wasn't right. And then I got a plus sign next to the actual style sheet. And I don't want this to occur. So to get rid of that plus sign, I just click this little icon and it clears an override of something. And there we go. Now it's working. Okay. And then I would go back and take out any extra returns that don't need to be in here because I want to make sure everything is identical in formatting. And you kind of go back through here and make sure everything's okay. Let's see this right. Oh, that did turn out kind of funny too. Take that header out and make sure it's nice and big. So do you see a little difference here too? Let me hit the W here. Take a look at this, freshwater and overview, how close they are together. And here, this looks a lot better. Why are they different? Not because of your formatting, but because of these extra returns. Why didn't that show up? Oh, I gotta change my view again too. Now put it back on. Show hidden characters. This is the extra return here. Take that back out. And I want to change this under header, double clicking to modify the paragraph style. I want to, can I move this somewhere where I can see, we can all see it? I want to end in the spacing and space after. And we'll put quite a bit in there because I do want a lot of space after, and hit OK. Now automatically everything puts space after. And you can go and modify this over and over and over again. But go ahead and go through here and get your style sheets, your basic ones in here, and we'll go back and modify them as we need to after everything is formatted.